Hey, welcome back to Bridges. We're glad that you decided to come back with us this second segment. And if you're joining us for this second segment, welcome, welcome. You will be glad you were with us. We're talking about the Ready to Read program, and we have with us Nancy Eames, Christian Brown, and Rhonda Sewell, all from the Toledo-Lucas County Public Library. This is an amazing program that gets parents ready to teach their kids how to be ready for kindergarten. Can you imagine? You have to be ready for kindergarten these days. These ladies say you absolutely do. We were talking about the 5 simple practices to help children get ready to read. We talked about the importance of talking and giving kids, infants even, the chance, toddlers, the chance to respond to your talking to them. What about singing?
Singing is fun. And it's
So even if you're not like Aretha Franklin, like
Yes.
or Chaka Khan, you can still
You can do it.
You should do it. You should do it. Why is it important?
Well, singing slows down language. The example we like to use is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So when you're singing, you know, twinkle, twinkle, little star, you're breaking down those words and you're hearing how the words come together. So that's, you know, a really important component. You know, different songs might have different, you know, parts of language, and, you know, that's a new, new vocabulary, new exposure to words in that way too.
You just had your singing debut on.
You sure did.
I know.
Think about it.
You were in key too.
Was that good? Okay.
Yes.
So singing slows down language, and it really then allows the child an opportunity to hear and sort of process what's been
How
said
the
to
word,
them.
how sounds come together to make words.
Yeah.
and most songs rhyme. So you're also hearing those rhyming
Rhyming
sounds.
skills, which are so important, as you mentioned to us the first time. Reading, it seems pretty obvious, but is it obvious?
I think, you know, most parents might not think that, you know, reading to their baby, or as Ron had mentioned, reading, you know, while baby's in the womb still, is an important thing. But they can hear, you know, as they're growing. And, you know, I read one book over and over while I was pregnant, and, you know, I hope that that becomes, you know, my son's favorite book, because it's one of my favorites to share with him. So I kind of just like to see how he responds to that same book that we've been reading.
What's the name of that book?
It's 10 Little Fingers and 10 Little Toes by Mem Fox.
That's good. I thought you were going to
That's
say
a good
Goodnight
one.
Moon.
Yeah.
That's a standard.
That was one of my kids'
That was one of my
favorites.
favorites
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So reading is really critical.
Also for vocabulary, because when in books we learn new words, we learn synonyms for things. My favorite example is The Napping House by Audrey and Don Wood. How many words can you think of that mean sleep? Well, there's dozing and slumbering and snoring and snoozing. Did you ask someone recently how their snooze was? But it's a word that's important to learn. Because
Absolutely.
you can't learn to read words you've never seen or heard before. They don't make sense to you.
That's right.
And when you're a beginning reader, the more vocabulary you have behind you, the better you'll do.
The better it is. Absolutely. Writing?
Writing is a great thing to do. One of the things that's in our parent kit actually is a little dry erase board with a marker so that you can practice writing. We've got a lined side for the older kids and a blank side for those scribblers.
This is an amazing
It is,
program.
isn't
This
it?
is
It's
so
exciting.
Cool. This is so
Very
exciting.
exciting.
So you use the sort of dry erase board with your, as young as they can hold a pencil, you get them to do it.
One of our coworkers who's involved in the program with me, she gave her child a writing utensil as early as 4 months, and just kind of monitored her, and she saved the drawing. It was really impressive to see that, you know, you're, you know, got them in an area where they can be safe, and, you know, give them a crayon and
Have at it.
And washable, non-toxic.
right.
Yeah, there are lots of,
Exactly.
you know,
Safety.
really, Crayola has taken away all the excuses.
They have.
You know, they really have.
They have.
They've given, and finally playing. I thought this one was really pretty fun.
So playing is how kids learn that things can represent other things. This box is a rocket ship, and we're going to pretend that we're flying to the moon. You're learning representational things, and that's what we do when we read. The text represents something. Play helps us explore the world, learn new vocabulary, learn story structure, and learn how text represents things.
Yeah, and parents, I mean, we're all playing with our kids when they're young, at least. We're playing with our kids. How do we learn to put that in the context of more than just play? Is there some way that we know to do that?
Well, I think helping your children learn to explore their imagination and creativity. So especially open-ended play.
So the kids don't really have to know that they're learning, that it's something different.
Sure.
No,
Oh,
no.
sure.
They just have to, you just have to have them do it.
Yeah.
And have the
Yeah,
experience.
but studies show that parents who intentionally do these things with their kids do better.
Do better,
Yeah.
okay.
When they get to school, they've got those skills behind them.
And that's one of the things that I love about the Ready to Read initiative. We have one of the top library systems in the country. There's
Yes,
no
you do.
excuse, and a really good school systems in the surrounding area.
Yes.
There's no excuse for children not to succeed in school. There are a lot of resources, and this I want to measure the economic value of all of this training, because that would be really interesting. Child care workers and parents and even children are going to benefit from this particular initiative, and there's no excuse for them not to succeed.
Yeah, and thank you for that. I'd like to move into actually what the parents get who participate in this program. So thank you, Rhonda, for moving us in that direction. There are, first of all, we just need to remind folks that this is an initiative that's designed to engage parents primarily in teaching their kids to read or getting their kids engaged in reading. So don't feel quite so overwhelmed with the whole notion of, I've got to teach my child to read. I don't think that's what anybody's saying
No,
today.
and actually those You Can Teach Your Baby to Read programs, they don't really work. But you can teach your baby or your preschooler the skills they need to be ready for school.
All right, let's take a look at what you get if you complete the training. There are 5 books.
There are. We've got a few of them here. And mostly what's in the kit are board books. And the reason for that is that your little one can't tear them up.
Yeah.
Babies, though, and toddlers and preschoolers need the chance to hold books. Kristen was talking with some parents last week, and she said, "Where are the books?" And they said, "Oh, we keep those up high, so they can't."
So they can't get to
Didn't
them.
want to tear them. And
There are such amazing little, take a look at this. Oops, take a look at this. This is a puppet and a book. It's a board book. This is mine, I'm taking this one home. It's a board book, and it's got Old MacDonald Had a Farm on the front, so we might have Christian sing that for us before we leave today. What a great
Yeah,
little thing
You've
for
got
kids.
talking, singing, reading, and
all at
playing
once,
all in this little
all at
mitt.
one time. Great things.
Yeah.
You get this is the Old MacDonald hand puppet
That's
that
right.
you get. So you get this Old MacDonald hand puppet if you participate in this program. You get the dry erase mat and marker that Nancy
Yep,
showed you
yeah,
earlier. 3 triangular crayons.
And those are great for toddlers because they're easier to hold on to. Again, giving them those early writing experiences.
You give them scissors that you promise won't cut their hair or their clothes.
it's been tested out.
Are you sure?
On this hair.
Are you sure? I am the mom of a kid who got a hold of a pair of scissors and gave herself a haircut. So
Probably
I
before
can tell
picture
you.
day, too.
Yeah, I can tell you. Magnetic letter puzzle.
That's that blue thing over there that
Oh,
lets
this
you
blue
practice
thing.
your ABCs. It's
Okay,
good to
yeah, we've seen these all around. You got
yeah,
this?
play with the alphabet. That's an important thing to do too.
That's really cool. The Busy Book, the literature guide.
The Busy Book is one of our favorite things. This was entirely produced here in Toledo. These
Oh,
are some local
wow.
kids on the cover. It's
Beautiful
filled with
kids.
tips for parents, rhymes and songs. Maybe you don't remember the words to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or some of the popular nursery rhymes that'll help with those rhyming skills. The great thing about this book, though, I should let you hold it.
I can hold it.
It's a dry erase book.
Oh,
So you get a
yeah.
marker with it and you can use it over and over again. Tuck it in the diaper bag, stick it in your purse. Anytime you've got waiting time, let your child practice beginning letter sounds, rhyming, scribbling and drawing, and writing.
That's such a good idea. There are so many times waiting for so many things that we wait for during the course of the day. When if you just had a book with your baby, you can pull it out, and what a great way to entertain and teach at the same time. And finally, you get that marvelous zipper canvas tote bag there to carry all this great stuff in. So, and Rhonda mentioned earlier that there are bilingual books. So
Yes, there are.
no excuse. No
Exactly,
excuse.
exactly. We have a lot of community partners like Adelante, YWCA, who are helping out. And at Adelante, one of the administrators there shared her personal story of coming to this country not prepared to enter school. And she said the bilingual books really assisted, so she's very excited about these books.
This is just the most amazing program. And so if people see this van driving down the street or parked someplace, not driving down the street, please, but if it's parked someplace, they can just enter onto the van. We're going to tell you how to get more information about this program when we return. I know you have something to say. I'll hold this up for you. We got to go away. We'll be back in just a second.